finally, it looks like Meghan Markle's going to be absolutely delighted with somebody who became something of a nemesis when you think about it a couple of years back. This book literally tore her apart, literally limb from limb, and she's never refuted any of the claims with a very much lame excuse that they didn't want to give the publicity or the book any more publicity, or indeed the author. We're talking, of course, about the best-selling book Revenge by Tom Bower. And it's interesting to note, of course, Tom's written many different books, including one on His Majesty the King, which I've always thought was very suspect, and I told him that when I met him face to face. A lot of the stuff is second-hand gossip that really doesn't resonate with what I was told from very senior courtiers. But of course, he's selling a product, selling a book. He's also written books on the likes of Simon Cowell, but now he's turned his attention to somebody that apparently has ignited something of a, shall we say, sprig of happiness inside Meghan Markle. As ever, let me explain. Good to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for your time. I'll have a wave. You all right? Thank you so much. Yes. I know, have you got over the jams and the dog biscuits yet? I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Not having a go on a personal level, but you do kind of think, is that the best you could come up with? I mean, I think even the burger run thing was better. The stress patches was a little bit better. You know, just sticking pictures of dog biscuits on, you kind of think, what's that about, you know? And getting your chum as well, the polo guy, to do it, you think, not a good look, is it? Yes, doesn't work well. But, you know, this is the world that you live in when you are in the commercial world now. You have to think of stunts and ideas to keep yourself relevant and in the media. But sadly, you know, the media, eventually they get tired of you. And then, of course, once the public are tired of you, you're finished. But Meghan is hoping that this could be the case, according to a very well-placed source, about someone who's now turned into another nemesis. We're talking, of course, about the Beckhams, who were apparently good chums for some time. They spectacularly fell out when apparently they were accused, the Beckhams that is, of snitching and selling stories to the media. And as I told you at the time, you know, this is ridiculous because the Beckhams really don't need to do that. You know, they really just don't need to do it. They have enough problems of their own keeping the media at bay for all the negative stories that they did. And as we also know, their recent Netflix documentary literally outstripped Harry and Meghan's event so much because I think it had more realism in it. They were very honest about certain things, discussing his affairs, alleged affairs, all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, her herself showing a good sense of humour about coming from a normal background. But now, and as ever we have to say allegedly, Meghan seems delighted by the fact that this particular tome by the celebrated author Tom Bower will be turning Mr. Beckham over. This is because they believe, of course, that ultimately this could prove problematic for his desire to become Sir David Beckham. It all delves into the likes of his tax affairs, certain negative things he said about other people who've received awards, you know, the sort of thing I'm talking about. Now, when you think about it, it's tit for tat, isn't it? When you also look at the fact that somebody like Meghan Markle would probably be delighted by the negative press that this particular individual, Tom Bower, would now be heaping on somebody else, particularly someone who allegedly has been quite negative towards her. They've been cut off, they're no longer friends, they're not chums, they're not speaking. And as you know, Victoria Beckham could have been very instrumental in helping design a look, a new sort of fashionista look for Meghan Markle on the world stage, but apparently she didn't need it and decided to go down her own route, as we saw with Nigeria. The book comes out very shortly, and it's going to be interesting because there will be references to that particular relationship as well, which apparently are quite steamy, and more importantly, Harry's disbanded friendship with none other than David Beckham. So whether Meghan feels that she's come out of this unscathed and now it's sort of a dish served cold, etc., well, I wouldn't be too hasty if I were you, sister, because the bottom line is nothing works better in the world of celebrity than mixing the pot. And the bottom line is Tom Bower is quite good at mixing the pot. So by bringing the Beckhams in alongside, of course, the Sussexes, he knows people will want to delve into the book. And once again, it could be egg on faces all round. But for Meghan, of course, she'll only read one side of the story, as she often does. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.